Hi, this is Jamak Golshani from jamakgolshani.com. Today in this short video I'd like to discuss how you can leverage Google search results to drive more traffic to your local business. You would agree with me as a small business owner that if you could just get your phone to ring more often with the right prospects on the other end of the phone, you would benefit from it. Your closing ratio would go up and you'd end up having more business. The challenge is, as we all know, people are more and more searching on Google for the solution that they're looking for, which you happen to have that solution as your product and service, but it's become very challenging to rank high for those terms that people are looking for. So there are some tricks of the trade that we can look at today with Google Places that will allow you to hopefully gain the visibility that you need. So let's dive in and take a look. First, what I'd like to discuss with you is just a typical search engine results page and what the various components of it are. So the first thing at the top that you'll see is keyword right here. That means the term that the searcher would type into Google or any other search engine for that matter to look for what they're looking for. Obviously that's very important because as we learn in marketing, you need to think about what it is that your buyer has going on in their mind when they're searching, not necessarily the service that you're offering. So as an example, I just took dentist here, and if you type that in, you'll see there's about 150 million search results that show up. This is a screen capture of the first page, and as you can see, there are two sections that we have: sponsored results. These are ads right here and down here. These are what people, advertisers, are paying Google, and it's pay-per-click, meaning every time somebody clicks on one of those links, the advertiser pays a certain amount of money to Google, and the amount of money they pay depends on the popularity of the keywords that are being targeted. Next, we're going to look at this section right here. It's called organic results. These are regular search engine results that are showing up for those keywords. If you look at this entry right here, this person is probably spending a lot of money and or time to rank that high among 150 million search results. But I want to show you something. Look at this right here. This says Walnut Creek, California. I was actually not at Walnut Creek, California, but Google thinks I'm in Walnut Creek, California based on the internet service provider and what address they're handing out to me. So Google already thinks I'm in a specific location, so there's a little bit of location bias that is going on here, which takes us to the next section that I'd like to discuss, which is Google Place results. You can see one up here, which is very, very powerful. It's coming above organic results, and then you have these right down here, all of these items right here. The labels, the A, B, C, D that you hear are associated with these lettering on the map. Shows the location of these businesses. This place listing is what I would like to discuss today. As you can see, they're showing up relatively high, and if we go to the next slide here, if you introduce a geotag, which is just a location variable to your search criteria up here, to your keywords, you'll see that pretty much all of the listings you get on most of the first page are map results or Google Places results. You still have your sponsored ads on the sides, and here's the map that we already discussed. So the trick is, how do you get up here? Because if you look at statistics, these two results capture, I would say, over 95-96%, if not more, of the visitors that come to this page. So despite the fact that if you go down here, the organic results down here, this pediatric dentist San Ramon has probably worked super hard to get up here, more than likely they're not going to capture that traffic. Look up here, the number of search results is down to 273,000 results. Might seem high, but it's actually a good number as far as competition to work with. If you're working with an expert, they can figure out how to go out and beat the competition and have you become #1. So what I'd like to do now is dive into one of those listings and explore what's going on in there. So the first listing that we're going to look at is this individual who has a dentist office on Alcosta Boulevard in San Ramon. Not a very good, it's not optimized yet, so I'd like to draw your attention right here where it says business owner. As you can see with a question mark, Google does not know who owns this business. That's not a good thing. So the first thing, and in the next slide I'll show you what I'm talking about, but this is how you can tell. If you look up your business and it looks like this, that means you have some work to do. Look at the rest of the information on here, the name of the business, the address, and the phone numbers, what's called a citation. This needs to be consistent across the web, because this is how Google looks up across the web and tries to find your business elsewhere and bring the information back in and serve it on that particular page. On to the next screen. This is actually that #1 entry that we discussed on that previous slide, couple previous slides. This one, if you look, it says owner verified listing. This individual is probably working with an expert who's done all this stuff for them, but as you can see, they've verified the listing. The way to verify the listing is you click on that link that you saw before, where it says are you the business owner, and then if Google knows your phone number, they're going to call you. There's an automated phone call that comes to that phone number. It's instant, so you have to be at that phone. They'll give you a code. You put in the code into the box that they provide for you, and that's how you verify that business. But like I said, you got to be sitting by that phone or have somebody in contact with you at that phone number so they can give you the code. If they don't have your phone number, if the phone number that shows up here, or in this previous case, if this phone number that shows up here does not match the number that you're at, it's a little bit more involved. They're going to send a postcard in the mail for you, and that postcard looks like junk mail, so you got to make sure that you don't throw that out. Next, if you look down here, you'll see a lot of information that this person has put in, the categories, hours of operation. So the more data you give them, the better. This section right here, you have an opportunity to upload photos, you can do videos, and then you also have offers, which are very attractive. So you want to make sure you give Google as much information as it allows you. The more the better, think of it that way. But you also want the information to be keyword specific. Let's look at the next slide. So once you've set that up, you actually have sort of a back office that gives you tons and tons of very valuable information. This is gold for a local business owner to have this information at the tip of their fingers when they're trying to optimize what it is that they do. So this up here is the time frame. So this is running for a month, showing a month of time here, and then this graph right here is a graphical representation of these numbers down here. So let's look at these numbers. The first number is impressions. That's the blue graph at the top. In this case, it's a little over 1,000 impressions for that month. That means that Google Places entry, that Google Places listing, was presented to a viewer on their computer screen over 1,000 times. It was just shown to them. Doesn't necessarily mean they took any action. The next number, which is 58 in this case and says actions, are people who actually clicked on that link. So you can see out of 1,000 people, 58 of them went ahead and clicked on that link. Then it breaks down the clicks for you, which in my opinion, this right here is the most valuable information. 40 out of those clients clicked on map for more info. Clicked for more info on maps means they actually looked at that Google Places page that we were just looking at and discussed. 18 looked for directions. This is awesome, means 18 people actually went to the office. You know, they looked up that business and went to the office. Now check this out. This is very interesting. 0 clicks to your website. What does that mean? So we spend thousands of dollars doing our websites, and nobody's going through visiting them. That tells me something. That tells me that I better have all of my information that is important to my prospect right there on my Google Places page, so that they get the information they need. Maybe they pick up the phone and call me right there and then, or they're inclined to do that extra click and go to my website and get the whole picture. So this tells a lot. This tells a big story. And then the next section here is top search queries. So this shows how many searches we're getting for each of the variables or of the keywords that we're targeting. To a business owner, I think that's very valuable information, because it's basically telling us what it is that our client is looking for. Next, it's a geographical location. It tells you, out of the 18 people who got driving directions, how many of them actually, where did they come from. So this person happens to be in Fremont, California, so 16 out of the 18 were from Fremont. Tells us that the majority of our audience is actually very local, so we're doing the right things by targeting the local market. So if you'd like to learn more, if you found value in what I've discussed with you here, you can either go ahead, if you're in the US, you can take your cell phone out, text Gulshani, which is my last name, to the number 411247, and what I do is I'll send you tips and tricks, very much like this stuff you're hearing right now, through text message and with a link. Or you could go to the URL that's on the screen right there, and there is about an hour of videos on there that you could watch. You'd have to give me your email address so I can send you those videos. So you can go to that page and go from there. If you have any immediate questions, you can leave a comment under the video wherever you found the video. You might, I'm not sure where you would end up watching the video, but wherever you're at, you can just type the comment under it, and hopefully I'll be notified and I will be in touch answering your questions. I hope that this video has served you.